Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by The Sky Lounge and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Ale Hop Brewery Tours, and Jesse Moffat Entertainment. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations and has been recognized by the Sioux Falls Stage Awards with a special distinction for promoting the arts. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Thank you so much, Zach. Appreciate that wonderful intro that I wrote for you. You nail it every time. Zach, you're great. Certainly appreciate you, brother. And certainly want to appreciate anyone that listens, no matter how you may be listening. We are so thankful. It's paying off. Well, not big dollar-wise, but we're seeing the downloads increase, and we're seeing the shares and the likes on Facebook and on Instagram and Twitter. So thank you. Let's see, that was a thank you for each one of them, wasn't it? Thank you to the people that are showing up to be on this program today. We have on episode 92, that's right, only 8 away from number 100. So here on episode 92 today, as we talk to those creatives in the world of arts and entertainment, coming up in a bit, Ellyn Donahoe. She is a music therapist by day, and when she gets the opportunity, she loves to sing and play as well. And then later on in the show, from Broadcast Theater, Sue Martens. Broadcast is 2 words, not one, because the cast and all the people in the troupe of Broadcast are of a certain ilk, we'll say. All right? You caught that, did you? Good. You're going to find out all about it, and it's a lot of fun. And you know what else is a lot of fun is when you get out whatever you need to drink. Time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day and your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is in and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party. Okay, get out that libation, get out the cocktail, get a bottle of beer, a mug of beer, a glass of beer, can of beer even, glass of wine, bottle of wine, cup of coffee, whatever it is you like to toast with, which could be predicated by what time of day it is that you're doing this and listening, and toast it to your neighbor. Because sometimes when we move up into a bigger locale, because a lot of us were raised in small towns around here where we knew everybody and knew everybody's business as well, but we don't always know even our neighbors. Fortunately for my wife and I, 14 years of being in this abode, we are on the second floor of an over and under duplex, and down below us for the last 8 years, we've had the most wonderful young lady and her young daughter, and it's been such a joy. And then when we found out that they were going to be moving out, we went, oh, because now we have to worry about, what are we going to have for neighbors? That's not always a pleasant thought, but when you get the right neighbor, it's awesome, isn't it? Well, we kind of got to pick our own this time, because at the time that we found out that Jillian and Rylan were leaving, our friend Rachel said, hey, anybody know of a centrally located apartment? I'm on the lookout for it. So our good friend Rachel, that we've known for a few years, is our new neighbor. We already did a fire in the fire pit last weekend. Got to know her even a little bit more, and her mom came over too. So it was just a fantastic good time sitting around shooting the breeze about life in general. Toast your neighbor. The Weekend Eve Toast has been brought to you by Ale Hop Brewery Tours, a great way to hop from microbrew to microbrew in Sioux Falls. Book a private 4, 5, or 6-hour tour. You're in charge of the 8 local breweries you could go to, but leave the driving to Ale Hop. Plus, the van looks pretty groovy. Todd M. says it was a great way to spend the evening with my friends, and he agrees the van is really cool, and it's nice to be able to face each other while sitting in it. Book your private tour on alehopbrewerytours.com. Tuesday through Thursday tours start at 3 p.m., Fridays at 5, and Saturday and Sunday tours as early as noon. If you don't mind sharing a ride, hop on one of the public tours. For more info, call 605-777-2183. That is 605-777-2183. Ale Hop Brewery Tours, where micro fans meet micro brews. Honorable mention. Oh, in the past week, what has made Dave smile or just given him a good feeling in the heart and the spirit? I hope you do not ever tire of me talking about this group, Good Night Theater Collective. They put on another dandy last Thursday night at the Orpheum, and we were there for the opening night of Reality Wives, which is one of their original shows. Now, all the ladies that played all the wives, phenomenal. Then there was one guy that played all the men, phenomenal as well. And Luke Tacci, you are the most phenomenal of all. This is one of a handful of originals that Luke has written. And Luke, my friend, you outdid yourself. In my opinion, your best job of writing. Man, did we laugh and have a good time and still, caught the feeling of what was taking place and how all those shows can make you go, wonder what's so good about it. Well, this one was just amazing. So congratulations, Luke. You have won this week's coveted Dave Holly Hour Honorable Mention. So some more applause for you, as you deserve it. Luke's pretty much behind the scenes usually. But keep the applause going because we have some great guests coming up. Sue Martens from Broadcast Theater and music therapist and musician Ellyn Donahoe next on the Dave Holly Hour.
Sure, they have darts, and you've heard me talk about how ruggedly handsome the trivia host is, but all caps fun never stops at the Sky Lounge and Tea. And fun is best had with your friends enjoying live entertainment, as in live and local. Yeah, the Sky Lounge believes in giving you the best bands, solo artists, and comedians from the area. The Neo Johnsons, Elizabeth Hunstead, Skylar Volks, as well as many others. And a great staff will make sure you enjoy your fun at the Sky Lounge in Tea, South Dakota.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XL Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xlchiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XL Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
People ask him where he got his top shelf voice. Dime store. Bargain bin. Once again, here is Dave Holly.
Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you listening, no matter what platform you use, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, or Podbean. It is greatly appreciated. The numbers just keep going up and up and up, as does the quality of the conversations we have with people in the arts and entertainment community around the Sioux Empire. And this is going to be fun because I met this young lady just a few weeks back when I was doing some work volunteering for Sioux Falls Jazz and Blues. She was volunteering as well, so we got to see the Tab Benoit concert together and work the merch table.
Yeah.
Ellyn Donahoe, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Excellent. If I were any better, I'd be twins.
I love that saying.
But when we were sitting back there selling T-shirts and everything at the merch table, having a fun time and just talking about music in general, I came to find out that you're not just a music enthusiast. You perform as well.
Yes.
All right. So what do you like to do when it comes to performing music?
Oh, what don't I like to do? No. Blues is really where it's at for me.
Okay.
Rock too, and I love Broadway. So basically anything where I get to belt. But I do also
Right.
sing at my church too. So I guess I kind of belt a little bit there too.
Yeah,
make sure I can
occasionally
hit the
there'll be some.
Yeah.
They took a lot of, what's funny is, like the Wesleys that wrote all of the Methodist hymns and so forth, those melodies that they took were old pub tunes.
Ah.
And then they just put the Christian lyrics to it and so
Sure.
forth. So I've always gotten a kick out of that. And then they were teetotalers. So
yeah.
how did they hear that music? I wonder.
Interesting.
What got you started
In performing?
in performing and just in general when it comes to your musical talents?
Well, way back, many centuries ago. Okay, my brain always goes to musicals. No, I'm the youngest of 8, and so I grew up going to my siblings' performances. They were in band and choir in high school and college and whatnot, and going to see the Strollers at a very young age. I don't think I remember any of it other than
Right.
sleeping on the floor at Slagle. But went to USD, as did most of my siblings. But yeah, I listened to a lot of their performances, embarrassed my family by dancing in the front row at a lot of their performances. I hung out backstage as, they were babysitting me
Right.
as I would, watch their shows from, the wings.
All right. So besides vocal instruments that you play.
So started out in band in 5th grade, as everyone in my family, I believe, did. And I was told that I was going to play the trumpet because we had one, and my dad was too old for me to get a drum set.
Aha.
Few months later, when I kept almost passing out because of my asthma, they let me switch to percussion. And I played piano also growing up. And
Well, it used to be at least, and I think it still is in many ways. Didn't you have to play piano in order to get into the percussion?
in my school, yes.
Yeah.
I taught piano and voice lessons for quite a while. And I know in most of the Sioux Falls schools, they can't tell you have to play
Right.
piano, but they highly encourage it.
Yeah. And so that gets you the rhythm and so forth, and you
Yes.
learn everything. So that's a really great thing. But so then the percussion came around. How long was it before you finally got Dad to give you a drum set?
I bought one myself
your own.
in January. Part of it was my dad passed away when I was in high school, and that kind of led to me, choosing a little bit
Right.
different path for a little while. And so I ended up quitting band, and so I didn't need a drum set. And then I got talked into being in band in college, and then I started thinking a little bit more seriously about it. But I was a vocal major at the time, so didn't need it. So.
Right. Yeah. All right. So you love rock, blues, and Broadway. Anything you get to belt out and so forth. What's the go-to for you if you only get one song to sing? What are you going with?
It's funny because I'm music therapist at work, and I always tell my patients when they ask me what my favorite song is to play, I'd say I don't have one at work because I don't at work. But when I'm performing, it's Susan Tedeschi's It Hurts So Bad.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's where it comes from then.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to get to that music therapy part. But
Sure.
let's cover a few other bases
Yeah.
for your musical career first. So where do people find you? I know that you've recently been out to Straw Bale Winery.
Yes.
Performed out there. And who are you performing with?
Gary Melbreck.
Okay.
Yes, he and I were in a cover band together. The cover band itself is still going, but most of the members have rotated out
Okay.
except for one of the guitar players. All fantastic musicians. And Gary and I got back together doing some acoustic gigs. And yeah, we're back at Straw Bale again next month.
Oh, fantastic.
yeah.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be on a night that I'm doing something so I can get
Right,
out there
yeah.
this time. Because that was, in fact, I think that was the last reason because I had something going
Yes.
on. But looking forward to getting out there and seeing you then. And what can people expect from you guys when you're doing an acoustic set? What should they be thinking about when they get there?
It's going to be a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Your typical acoustic type things, but I bring a bunch of my percussion instruments, and sometimes I will jump on the cajon to bring out my djembe or cabasa or güiro or, whatever random thing happens to be in my box of percussion.
Well, I recognize those names, but I wouldn't be able to put those down with a picture of each one of them.
Fair.
So give us an idea what each is, first of all.
So the cajon, as my friend Tony referred to it, is the box thing that you sit on.
Beatbox. Or how's it different from a beatbox?
So a
then?
beatbox, that's more like mouth sounds that I can't do
Oh,
without
okay.
making a fool out of
Gotcha.
myself. But the cajon is, I call it a trap set in a box. It's got snare strings inside, and you, like I said, you sit on it. And if you hit certain spots, it sounds more like a bass drum. If you hit in other spots, it sounds like the snare drum,
Got it.
toms. So you can keep the beat
All
going.
right.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about some of the others then.
Djembe is a drum from Africa. It's a hand drum, typically played under the arm with, you hold it with one hand under
Okay.
the arm and then play it with the other hand.
Is this the one that, if you set it on an end, it looks kind of like an hourglass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. All right.
Also, Doomback is another one, but I don't have one of those. And the cajon. Oh, I already said that one. The cabasa. Sorry, I knew it started with a C. That's the one that looks like it has ball bearings on it, and as you rub
Right.
it on your hand, it kind of makes the yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
And then
see,
the-
if you said shaker egg, I've got one of those.
I have one of those too. Sometimes I bring that out.
Do you ever play trap set yet on a drum set? You do.
Not much outside of my house right now.
Okay.
Just because pandemic.
All right, yeah.
But during my internship, I played it quite a bit, and that was what led me to being like, all right, I need to get my own now.
Okay. And are we going to be seeing that sometime when you're out and about?
Not anytime in the near future, but maybe next summer. It's a lot more to bring along than what I really need to for an acoustic show. So
Yeah, true.
But some other of my fellow musicians from the band and whatnot that are also kind of taking a break from doing a lot of live music. We've all kind of talked about doing a blues show together sometime.
Oh,
and-
fantastic.
Yeah. So.
Any thoughts of getting back into a band?
Not at the moment because I'm in grad school and it pretty much eats all of my free time.
That kind of takes everything up for you, that's for sure.
Yes.
But I'm very interested. Let's just get right into it then, because you mentioned it already, that your job is you are a music therapist.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean? I mean, we can all have our own idea as to music therapist. Sounds fun. What's it take?
So it is a board certified position. So I had to go, I already had my music degree, like I said. I had to go back to school to get my music therapy certification. You can either do that a couple different ways. There are schools that are just straight up, you can go get your bachelor's of music or music therapy, just like you can with music education or music performance. And then you could also go back get your master's degree if you already have a music degree. And then that's the Master's of Music Therapy, and that you get the equivalency with that. Or the way that I did it was a distance education program where I got my equivalency, and then it made it so that way my internship, after my internship, I did my board certification, and then my master's level is undergraduate tuition rates. So I feel like that was a smart way to go for me. But music therapy is basically, the short of it is using music to address non-music therapeutic goals. So it can be used in a variety of situations. There are some amazing music therapists in town who use it with outpatient services, helping kids with different developmental disabilities do things like learning how to tie their shoes, or just kids in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. I'm just remembering who I've worked with in the past. Kids with maybe some social anxiety, getting to know other people that might have similar experiences in life. In my work, I work at Avera Behavioral Health, so I'm working in mental health, and using it to remember that it's okay to be okay and to not be okay, and using music to kind of feel things again.
Yeah. What brought you into this?
So, well, to be perfectly honest, I have been dealing with depression, anxiety, and ADHD most of my life. Let me rephrase that. I had been ignoring some of those things for quite a while.
As have most of us.
Right? And once I finally started taking care of things for myself, I realized that music really helped me the most through all of it. I didn't get diagnosed officially until I was in college my first time through. And music literally saved my life. And so I was like, all right, what can I do to help other people who are feeling this way?
Wow.
So
this is, in many ways, probably going to end up being your life work then.
yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between when you're out playing for somebody, and obviously that's therapy for people.
Sure.
Because they want to go somewhere, they want to have fun and so forth, versus when you're with a client then? And what's the goal of each?
So when I'm performing, it's mostly for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit selfish.
Well, we all
but
have an ego when it comes to performance.
exactly. And I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love it when I see that people are enjoying what I'm
Right.
doing. Then it's for both of us. But I don't know that I could do it if I didn't get something out of it. And then when it comes to therapies, or music therapy specifically, it's more, the focus is on the client.
Right.
You know, I provide the music that they want, as long as it's something that I can physically do.
Right.
Sometimes we use recorded music too, but if it's me playing guitar, then it's a little bit more limited, just because there's only so many chords that I know right off the top of my head. But so it's more to address what they're looking for rather than what I'm looking for.
What was it like the first time that you performed music therapy?
Oh man.
Did you have any apprehension?
Oh, always, because anxiety. But no, actually, my therapist helped me out a lot with that. It was something where I was, I remembered, this is something where I have been trained to do this. My internship director would not have let me pass if he didn't think I could. And, he would not have said, yes, this is my student, she would be terrible at this. Let her take the board exam. No. So I knew that I was qualified, and that was one of those like, yeah, I can do this. And I've been working in mental health for quite a while before becoming a music therapist. And so I already knew kind of how to connect with people that I had been working with, and just got to use music to do it now too.
That's fantastic. What is it about music that does connect with us so much when it comes to our emotions?
Music affects the brain, like the whole brain. And that's something that not many other elements can do, elements of therapy or just life in general. The arts in particular really connect people in ways that are ineffable, I think. And especially music, because like I said, it, activates all different parts of the brain. I don't know if activates is the right word, but there are just some experiences that you get with music that you can't get anywhere else. And it's one of those things that makes you feel alive.
Right.
And connected, like I said.
Well, and I have a good friend that one of his favorite sayings is, live music is good for the soul.
Yes.
And I just, ever since he said that, I've repeated a lot, because it's so true. And then one of the other quotes that I've always loved about music is the fact that when you're happy, you hear the music. When you're sad, you hear the lyrics.
Yes.
And what part helped you most in your own journey then? The music or the lyrics?
That's tough, because there were a lot of times where I was mad at music. The time where, like I said, music literally saved my life. It was finals week or juries. If you're a music major, you had to, basically
Right.
perform in front of all the music faculty and have them judge you. Super not fun at all. But my freshman year, I had lost my voice during that week, and so I felt like music was failing me.
Oh, wow.
And it was the lyrics that caught me then. It was a song that I'd heard a million times. I'd been to see this band multiple times. Five Iron Frenzy is the name of the band. And it hit me like, I'm going to be okay. I just got to get through this week, and I'll be okay.
Well, that's a testament.
Yeah.
I mean, the power of music is incredible, and you've seen it in your own life, and now you're helping it for others to see it in their lives. That has to be incredibly rewarding for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So that's an interesting career choice.
Yeah.
And you don't hear of many people.
No.
But you said there are several actually in the city that we have.
Yes. Yeah. I believe, don't quote me on this, because there may have been some that have moved into town. But I want to say there are about 10 or 11 of us that are board certified in the state, or at least hold the credentials in the state.
Right.
Some, I know one moved to Idaho. We miss her. But, we also have others that are coming in. I had my first music therapy student this summer, and, soon in about a year, hopefully she'll be a music therapist as well.
Oh, that would be an affirmation of what you do then, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's fantastic. But let's get back to talking about you and music.
Sure.
Okay. Do you karaoke?
Oh, do I karaoke? I haven't lately because Corona.
Saturday night, Red Rock, Crazy Frank.
I would love to. I'm on a 6-day stretch of work then, so probably not the smartest for me to do that.
All right.
The thought of sharing a microphone with somebody during pandemic times is still a little off-putting to me right now. But I do love the karaoke. I was a karaoke DJ for a while, actually.
Okay.
So
yeah, I can tell it. Yeah, I was too.
Sure.
A long time ago. Now I just rather sing instead of having to keep everybody else entertained.
Yes.
The whole time.
Definitely.
So we all have go-tos. Is the one that you mentioned earlier also the karaoke go-to?
Yep, it's one of them. My friends from college will remember that All That Jazz from Chicago was another one.
Great tune.
Yes, that was one of my favorite. Those songs where I can just take the mic away and just belt it out. Or also, I used to do No Doubt's Bathwater quite a bit, which now hurts my throat to try to sing it, but because I have to do that baby voice.
Yeah, see, I do What a Wonderful World as Louis Armstrong.
Gotcha.
And I either have to do that very early on in the night or it has to be the last thing.
Sure.
And at least I can still, no matter what point, I can still do it. But if it is the last, toward late, it's probably the last one. The other one that gets me, though, is if somebody asks me to sing Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Oh, how the big man Meatloaf could do that, I don't know.
Fair.
What types of places do you like to play?
Anywhere that'll hire me? No.
That's always the starting point, that's for sure.
No, most frequently, the places that I've been doing, Eastway, I used to bartend there, and so it's always nice to go back there. Doing the patio series last summer and this summer. And then, like I said, Straw Bale is always a favorite of ours. Oh my gosh, I'm suddenly blanking on anywhere else I've ever done. But
Where haven't you played that you'd like to?
Honestly, I've just been so focused on school lately that I haven't even thought about any place else besides those two. We did the corner bar over on 6th Street. That was a fun one. Yeah.
Been there before.
Yeah. Really I just basically anywhere that'll have us, I enjoy.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, and we talk about this so much on this show, is the fact that people in this area that are involved in the arts and entertainment have a great deal of passion for what they're doing. And therefore, it doesn't have to be the Taj Mahal.
Right.
Yeah. We can go play somewhere? Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
And you think about that, especially this time of year as you're walking up and down Phillips Avenue.
Yeah.
With how many people are playing out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And that, downtown Sioux Falls has brought that and the atmosphere and so forth. You're originally from this area?
Yeah, I grew up about an hour away in Hayward, Iowa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We did talk about that because I was Rock Rapids and we were in the same conference in school. So did you come up here a lot, especially in Hayward, or did you go down Sioux City way?
It was about half and half.
Okay.
So
what have you noticed over the time frame growing up to now with this city, especially in its growth in arts and entertainment?
Oh, man. I do. It might have just been because I was from Iowa. We'd always go to Sioux City when it came to going to see a touring show,
right.
Like Broadway and things like that. But it seems like things have really opened up. They're more available, and it seems like it's more accepting of all different kinds of music too.
Very true. I mean, we've got such a broad range of arts and entertainment now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing that has been so fun, and you've, kind of touched toward it in the fact that wherever anybody will hire you, in all the small venues that people go to now.
Yeah.
And you've got theater at the book co-op, you got comedy at a brewery, and so forth. So there's just such great opportunity, and that's not just for the artists. It's for the people that love arts and entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you could go anywhere and have something enjoyable, and it not only benefits us that are performing and seeing the music or the art in general, but also the businesses too. 'Cause
Right.
I remember being a bartender when we'd have musicians come in. I was like, I'm getting paid to listen to music.
Yeah.
And, serve people, of course.
Got to slug a few drinks yet. But.
Right?
All right. So when you're not entertaining and you're not busy with work or grad school and you get the opportunity to go out, what do you like to be entertained by?
I just about anything really. I'm pretty flexible, and I like to experience new things too. I did get to go to Boss's Comedy Club. Finally, I've been meaning to go for so long, and then I always, as always, forget about it until after it's happened. But about a month or so ago, my boyfriend and I got to go and see a show there, and that was awesome. And
Excellent.
yeah.
All right. Other hobbies?
Other hobbies. Painting. That's kind of my self-care is I'll do some artwork in general. Painting is kind of my go-to now, though. It used to be a lot of sketching, but I've got tendinitis, and so I try to reserve, fine motor skills for the guitar playing and whatnot. So,
You work in oils or acrylics, or watercolor?
It had mostly been oils, but I've been going back to watercolors lately. And
Really?
I did a wine and canvas for a friend's bachelorette party, and that was fun. I hadn't used acrylics in probably at least a decade, so that was interesting to get back into that. But
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I love when you see a good watercolor.
yeah,
And to see how that all blends together and how it worked is just amazing.
yeah.
So kudos to you that you have that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, such an interesting lifestyle that you have with music and with your schooling and being a music therapist. I just
Yeah.
absolutely am so intrigued by that. So, Ellyn Donahoe, thank you so much for spending some time on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you, Dave.
Appreciate it. And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Jesse Moffitt, and I'm not a piano player. I'm a comic magician and hypnotist. I've been performing for over 20 years. I've performed at many events, corporate events, holiday parties, post-prom parties, graduation parties, state and county fairs, festivals, just about anything you can imagine. The funniest thing about the Magic Act is that I use a ton of audience participation, and that can make things really interesting. Put it down the front of your shirt. Stop being so, my hand won't follow it. The best thing about the hypnosis show is that the volunteers and their imaginations really make it a blast.
Holy crap, dude, did you see what you just did? You could do that possibly to girls.
For booking information, go to Jesse Moffitt Entertainment on Facebook. That's JESSEMOFFITT. Or call 605-929-0964.
The Dave Holly Hour. Like eavesdropping on a great conversation between two very interesting people.
Welcome back to the Dave Holly Hour, everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate all that you do on social media, the likes, the shares, and so forth, all the comments. Don't forget, you've got a couple of different websites you can go to as well. First of all, for all my entertainment that I do, there's daveholly.com. And then we have one just for this show, davehollyhour.com. Trust me, if you go to one, you can get to the other. You can see the whole works one way or another, but appreciate the support that you provide as we get to talk about arts and entertainment. And, I think I've told this before about how when I wrote down the start of the show that I put together a list of around 50 people that I would want to have on. And I've never even gotten to 30 of them because other things come up. I meet new people, and then I run into some old friends that are involved in arts and entertainment. Sue Martens, how are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm great.
It
Thanks for having me here.
It's such a pleasure to have you. This is great because we go back. I was just thinking of it. I think it was 21 years ago this month.
No.
Yeah, hard to imagine,
21
isn't it?
years? Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
a couple of decades we've known each other now. You were one of the first people to introduce yourself to me the first day that I started at Kellaway.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Time flies, doesn't it?
It does. It's been amazing. And I think that after that bad year that we all had last year, now this year's really flying by.
Yes. Last year, we just kind of forget about that, right?
Yeah, there was no 2020. It's out of history.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
But what we have that's been history of late is the boom in the arts and entertainment community around
Yes.
Sioux Falls. And you have been a part of being involved in theater for a long time, as long as I've known you.
Yes.
And I would guess it probably went back prior to that, too. And we'll get to the everything on the previous end as well. But one of the things that's come out of it has been this growth of small theater companies.
Yes.
And you are involved in one. I've seen a couple of their shows now, and I will be seeing the third one thanks to your extra night you added.
Yay.
This Saturday night, Broadcast Theater.
Yes.
2 words, not one word.
Yep. We're 5 broads.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so fun, too. And, I think of, what we've always had. We've had the Orpheum. And then, then we got this really big giant place for, New York style, Broadway style shows to come to called the Pavilion. But then we're suddenly doing plays in breweries. We're doing plays in book co-ops and so forth.
Yeah.
And pizza joints. And it's been so fun to see how people have come together to enjoy the arts and theater and music around this community. And I just, it's fun to see that you are back in it in that way, because you never left anything else.
No.
You've still been, in other productions, but
Oh, yeah.
this has
I
just
love it
such
all.
a little niche to it.
Right. Well, you create art where you are, right?
Right.
You create performance where you can. And so that's what broadcast theater is about. I'll tell you what, we're all of a certain age, the women that are involved in this.
Mature.
And, yeah. Yes. And, every time a show comes along, we love community theater. But when a show comes along that has parts for women of a certain age, well, 50, 60, 70 people come to audition for that 1 or 2 or 3 roles. And we all, you could cast a show 20 times and still have good results. So there's a lot of talent, we feel, in the community. And we thought, you know what? Let's not sit around and wait for the next show. Let's create our own or do our own thing.
Right.
So first of all, we didn't create our own show. We found a great Nora Ephron piece called Love, Loss, and What I Wore. And that went over very well, and we had a great time with it. Yeah, well, Nora Ephron, you can't go wrong. Then as that went on, we thought, you know what, let's write our own. Let's see what we can do. And we threw ideas and we collaborated, and some did more writing and some did a little more idea pitching. And we came together and put on a new show, which premiered in July. World premiere of Broadly Speaking and Other BS. I love the title.
I do too. And so what is this show about then? If it's, first of all, an original writing.
It is.
From your group then.
Yep, we all collaborated. Well, the little tagline is, the little pitch line, truth is stranger than fiction. Stories to make you laugh, cry, and wonder, what were they thinking when they did that? It's all true stories.
So in other words, it's life.
It is life. It's life, and it's so relatable. Anybody who comes to the show, even men, will find things that will make them react and understand and laugh or cry, maybe cry a little bit.
Well, the things that I've seen out of the group so far, I've thoroughly enjoyed.
Thank you.
And so I'm really looking forward to this one because, yes, I will admit, as soon as I saw the title, it's like, we got to go. Yeah. And I think my wife may have even seen it before I did.
Oh.
And sent me the link, says, we're going. It wasn't a, can we go to this? Should we go to this? It was a, we're going to this.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you can't beat the setting, the venue either. It's at Wild Prairie Winery. Don't know if you've ever been there, but it's outside
Been past it. Actually, haven't been in it yet.
Oh, it is gorgeous, of course, out in the country, and it's this old barn that has been fully restored to a nice performance spot and a place where you can relax. It's air conditioned, drink a little wine, shop for some wine related products, and now see a little entertainment. And they do other things out there, but yeah, it's a beautiful venue. We love it.
All right, so you've got a Thursday show, or not a Thursday show, a Friday show.
And
that is sold out.
Completely. Friday the 13th.
But you've still got a couple of seats. Yeah.
We have about half the show, half the seating. Yep.
Okay.
Half the seating left for Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. How can people go about getting tickets?
Yeah, they just it's so simple. Go to eventbrite.com. Eventbrite is one word, BRITE. Mm-hmm. And tickets are $15.
Oh. See?
Yeah.
Can't beat a price like that.
Yeah. And so you go out there, 6 o'clock, they open, have a cocktail, sample their wines. 7 o'clock, the show starts. It's about 90 minutes.
Okay.
So just the right amount
Perfect.
of time to relax. And
Right. No intermission, straight through on the 90?
Straight through, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I like those.
So I know.
really do.
We tell people, hey, use the bathroom now
Yeah.
if you need, if you're so inclined. It goes pretty quickly, though. It's kind of, a lot of, like I said, monologues, musings, interactive pieces. So it clips along at a pretty good pace.
What do you like about performing in a show like this with a cast like this?
Oh my gosh, so many things. First of all, the women I'm working with are just awesome. They've become great friends. So that's always fun. The person next to you has your back. We're all in it together. It's always fun to make people feel something, feel happy, feel a memory that they've, maybe have long forgotten, and see that reaction.
Right.
So in a small venue like this, you can see that from the people, and they kind of become one with you. You're kind of sharing with friends, really, is how it turns out.
Well, last week, John Baronic was on the show,
Oh, yeah.
and we were talking about Tony and Tina's wedding and that coming to town, and you were in the first couple of runs of that, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I listened to that and I thought, oh, John, those were such fun memories to listen to him talk about those again.
And so now you've got this going on. So compare doing regular sect shows that you've been in.
Yeah.
Including Streetcar Named Desire, which you were absolutely phenomenal in.
Aren't you nice? Thank you.
And now doing, something kind of off kilter from the regular theater scene.
Yeah, I know. Well, they are different productions. In a way, to me, it's all the same because I'm presenting, I'm becoming a character, maybe. I'm finding the important things in the story. Ours are more personal to us, but in A Streetcar Named Desire, of course, there are universal themes. So you're always trying to share the story the best way that you can without showing Sue. I don't want to show,
Right.
Hey, Sue's telling you. You're always a little bit removed in a way.
Right.
Not so much, though, in broadcast theater, because these stories are our own. But I love them both. I love Sioux Empire Community Theater and all the many, going back to Sioux Falls Community Playhouse is when I started in the late 80s. So, love it all.
Yeah. Now, did you act in high school and college
Oh,
and
yes.
so forth?
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Oh, yes.
So how soon was it that the acting bug kind of bit you?
Well, I'll tell you what, in second grade.
Aha! I love these stories.
I know. Renberg School, my friends, we decided, hey, we could do The Wizard of Oz. Barb, you have a furry brown coat, so you're Toto. Judy, you have black hair, so you're the Wicked Witch. My mom has a beautiful gown, so I'm the Good Witch. That's how we decided who was who. And so we had a great time with that. I think we did that in second grade for the fourth graders, and then I think we did it again in fourth grade for somebody else. So that's where that's when it started. I mean, and that was just us kids. I don't think the teacher, I don't remember the teacher being involved at all.
Well, see, that's amazing because that tells me, you had the initiative, and you didn't just, take on a role. You took on directing, producing, maybe at a very, early stage and so forth, but still, you were already in that mode of it.
I was known to do a couple of skits at home and make my brother and sisters be part of it. My little sister, so she was probably 4 years old at the time, got a pair of pajamas at Christmas time that looked like Santa pajamas, kind of. Oh, let's do a play. You're Santa. That's all it takes. Just an idea. So we did that. And then of course, high school, I did everything I could. College, I thought, okay, well, I went to a little high school, Baltic High School. 20-some people in my class. I thought, going to college, I'll never be able to participate in theater because that's a big deal. So I went to auditions for the first show, Little Mary Sunshine. I thought, I'll do costumes. I'll help. I like doing that. I'll do costumes, but I just want to watch auditions. I watched auditions. I thought, I can do this. These are regular people.
Right.
We're all the same. So from then on out, I majored in theater and English. Was my first major, but majored in theater, and that was Then I came to Sioux Falls when I finally moved here, and oh shoot, I was in Del Rapids and Mitchell before that. Anyway, wherever I could,
Right.
People probably got sick of me, but anyway,
Not at all. Not
Just
one.
whenever I could.
I see. You're one of those people that we're having a good time right now, and even when you're in a very serious role, people can tell it's a passion, and I think that's what I love about what we see so much around here. Is the passion that comes through on everybody putting productions together.
Absolutely, yes, and the respect people have for each other. And,
True.
And the respect to the work. It's not just, we're just going to go have a good time, and that's all we're worried about is us having a good time. No, there's professional theater on every level here in Sioux Falls, and I love that. And then some of my lifelong friends are from theater.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just you're working together on a project. You're all in it together. And boy, there's just a lot of great camaraderie that comes out of that.
So when did you start rehearsing on this one? And what were rehearsals like for a show that you've written on your own versus something you're going off a book from?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of emailing back and forth or texting little ideas. Hey, how about this? Oh, here's a funny one. This is what drives me nuts. And then we do a list of that. Or here's a story about, back when I was dating, here's a guy that, get this. And so we were sharing stories like that by text and email. Nancy Tapkin really is kind of the glue for all the writing. She kind of keeps us on track. Julie Sauer is another one who really adds a lot of great writing, and Beth Olson. And then Jill Johnson and we chime in when we can. I find that for me to write, I really, really need to focus on, because of my job of what I'm doing all day, it's two different sides of my brain sometimes. And so to write, I love to write, but I really have to
buckle down for it.
Yeah, and I haven't been so good at that. But anyway, that's how it is, just throwing ideas. Then we go to rehearse and we try it. Does that work? Does that make us laugh? Does that make us have a reaction? Okay, that's great. Let's shorten that up. Let's change this word. So it's all of that going on.
Does any one of you take over specifically as director?
Not for this one.
Okay.
No, we really haven't. We try things, and then if we say, hey, that was great. How about try this once and just see? So whoever has an idea to try something different or change it up, we're all we set our egos aside if we have them in this, we're all.
Are we going to see more productions like this, original writing out of your group then?
Well, I hope so. I think there's a lot more ideas.
I have the feeling there is. When you were talking about something, it's like, there's going to be more of these. Has to be.
Yeah. So now, speaking of more shows, this is our last scheduled show at the winery this week, Friday and Saturday. And then we've got something lined up for October 10th, just downtown. We got a dinner theater with Chef Lance.
Oh, my.
So that's coming up October 10th, and we're just putting that together.
That's an important date for this show. That'll be the second anniversary of the Dave Holly Hour.
Oh my gosh, you just told me that. Yeah, and so we're so excited about that, and then we're this is a very portable show, so we're looking for new partnerships, new venues, Christmas parties, corporate events, because it's quick 90 minutes. We can edit or change, cut down if we need to be an hour. We can be an hour. Easy to do. So that's kind of where we're going. We're seeing what's out there.
So how much is sticking to the actual script? And how much do you do improv in a show like this?
There is very little improv in this. This is pretty scripted.
Okay.
And in a way, it's like reader's theater, because we do hold our scripts. We memorize some. We do some without holding the scripts, but we generally have them. And you know how that is. I mean, you and I have both done improv, and we've done scripted shows. With a scripted show, you got to be a little careful, because somebody's relying on on the
Need
cue.
That cue.
Yeah, yeah. So we're pretty good about not going off the rails too far. But if an idea strikes and we see the opportunity, boom, we throw it out
Oh,
there.
I was just thinking, since they tend to be your own stories that you're telling in this case.
Yeah.
That maybe something as you're going through that story process, you go, oh crap, I forgot to put this in. Or we'll save that for the sequel then.
It could happen.
I'm curious with the title such as this, broadly speaking and other BS. Does that mean that if we do a show very much like this again, that it would be more BS?
That's I'm going to write that down right now. More BS. Not copyrighted, right? I'm going to just write it down. Very well could be. This seems to work for us. We like how the ideas come together, and of course we've left a few on the side where we can't fit that in. It doesn't work for this one, but oh yeah.
Are you pretty well trying to keep it to like a 90-minute type show then?
That works about the best,
yeah.
I think. Yeah, because you don't do an intermission necessarily. Now for the upcoming dinner theater. We haven't even. We'll figure that out as we go. Yeah, we got a little more collaboration to do there on. Okay, what do you want? How should we do this? We're flexible.
Yeah,
we're very flexible though.
And do you have anything right now that you're hoping to accomplish as quote unquote a season? Then, are you looking to have X amount of shows?
We are scratching the surface of talking about a season, but that's about as far as it is right now. You get busy with life, and this isn't. We don't want this. We all have family, and we don't want this to consume our lives. We want to have some fun and bring some fun and enjoyment to other people as well. But we're not changing our life paths necessarily.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that's what maintains the passion.
Yes.
I think because there are some people that get very wound up in it and almost become unapproachable.
Right.
It's just so nice. That's one of the things I love about this community is the fact that people stay grounded.
Yeah.
And we're even talking about, people that have gone on. They've performed in something in New York. They've performed elsewhere. They still, when they're here, it's community.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing. And we're so thankful for that, and so thankful that, we have yet another theater company, Broadcast, again, 2 words. I just love that. The first time it came out, I saw the words Broadcast Theater, and I go, well, okay, there's a little space there.
Yeah.
So that's very fun to see, that there are so many different types of ways that people can perform art and create art in this town. What was it? You started early, second grade. It was your first quote-unquote show that you put on and so forth. But what was it about acting that you said, oh, man, I just can't get enough of this?
Yeah, what is that? What is that bug that bites us? It just is. I don't know, maybe I have a boring life. And I just think I can be somebody else when I don't know. I don't feel like I have a boring life. Let me say that for sure. But you do get to try on other personas. Mm-hmm. You get to try other situations. You can, by doing that, you start to empathize sometimes with people's situations. Okay, I wasn't in a tragic situation, but I was in a show where I played a character who had a tragic situation, and now I can see how that relates to people around me and people who might be like that. I hope that I'm more empathetic in those ways. And then if there's outrageously fun kind of stuff, well, I can do that too with still. Sue can be Sue, but I can live an outrageous life on the stage.
When you mentioned that earlier in our conversation here about the Sue being Sue and then Sue being whoever on stage, I got to thinking about when it comes to the big Hollywood stars and so forth, because the thing you always want to see when you go to a movie, you may recognize the big name star and so forth, but did they become that character?
Yeah.
And, that's obviously probably, with their training and production that goes along with it, directing, et cetera, they can make it appear that way.
Yeah.
Probably easier than somebody that's coming to see their next door neighbor in a production in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Well, and there is method acting where you do actually immerse yourself into a character. And for me, I don't see that as a healthy way to approach it. Now, if I was actually in the business, in Hollywood, whatever, maybe I'd have a different
Yeah, a
way
couple
of
$1 million
thinking.
might change my mind.
I did take some theater classes, and that is, that's definitely a legitimate way to approach it. But I don't know. I read think about the story of Heath Ledger and how he became the Joker. And that messes with your life.
Yeah, it does.
And to me, this is just a bit of an escape. It's not stepping into a new life. It's just enjoying and trying to interpret or present a different story.
How many productions have you been in? Have you kept count?
I haven't counted. Let's say 50. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good number.
I should do that sometime. I should just write that down. Well, you figure it. No, probably more than that, because some years I did 2 or 3 shows.
Right.
For 4, maybe 4.
Yeah. Kept you busy?
Kept me busy.
That's for sure. And that's I always tell people, busy always beats the alternative.
Right.
So we're glad you're busy with that. Glad you're having fun with this.
Oh, it's a great time.
A couple of questions I always like to end with. So when you're not part of the entertainment scene, what do you like to be entertained by?
Oh, I like a good concert. I kind of tend toward, what kind of concerts do I like, though? I like all kinds of music. Not so much a symphony girl, but, those oldies kind of 60s and 70s. I love the opportunity to go to a good show. I mean, any show locally, but when I get the chance, I've gotten to see a few shows in Chicago. I saw the Producers and Wicked there. In New York City, although I've only been there one time, got to see some great theater. And of course, here at the Washington Pavilion when shows come through. So that level of theater I love to see. Also love to see community theater because, like you said, you know your neighbor, you know the people up there. You like to see what they can do. You're rooting for them. You think, oh, I was in this show with them. Oh, they're doing so good. So I love that.
All right. Other hobbies?
What else do I do? I collect Snoopies.
Yes, I do recall that.
Everybody
I've seen one or
knows
two,
that.
maybe.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing. I like to sing. I like to... we sometimes are kind of boring. My husband and I like to watch a lot of TV shows, but we like to have fun with our grandkids. We have 6 grandkids.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's been a ton of
fun.
fun.
So you brought up TV shows.
Yeah.
What are you watching currently?
Reruns.
That's all right. I watched Carol Burnett in the dentist chair this morning.
Yes. Oh, I catch those. I've been,
saw her up at the Orpheum in the Twin Cities a few years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We've for fun. We've been watching Ed Sullivan lately on Sunday nights.
Yes.
And the groups that were so young when they were first on. That's been just a riot. We always watch NCIS with Jethro Gibbs. That is
Leroy,
that's
Jethro
a
Gibbs.
must. That's a must see at our house. And then there's a lot. There's some other ones. I like Bull still. Some comedies we like are, it's old now. Everybody Loves Raymond. Big Bang Theory. Those are the classics. What else?
Catch anything on any of the streaming?
We don't do a lot of streaming. We have all that stuff, but it takes,
all the passwords.
It takes a while to load, and we're like, all right, enough of that. On to CBS.
Because we've fallen in love with a couple of great ones. We recently got new iPhones.
Okay.
And with that came a free year of Apple TV.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's one we don't have.
Ted Lasso with Jason Sudeikis is a really interesting story.
Oh.
He's an American football coach hired to go coach actual soccer in England. Hired hoping that he fails and the team goes under type thing. But it's got a lot of great life lessons in it all throughout. And then just for, it's a podcast, I can say it, just for shits and giggles, we're watching Schmigadoon. It's a farce about being lost in Brigadoon, produced by Lauren Michaels from SNL and has all these. It's got a huge cast of names.
Okay, we were just talking about that the other night, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
Tell me more. Yeah, I need to hear about that. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I've watched just a few episodes. I want to binge watch that.
Yep.
And also the one with Catherine O'Hara and
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
I've seen a few episodes of that. I got to get on that. But like I said, it's so easy
Fun
to
stuff.
just go network TV.
We have 660 square feet we live in, and we have 3 big screen TVs.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Well, we're the same. We're outnumbered 3-1 on our TVs.
All right. Sue Martens, it's been great to see you and to catch up and to talk about broadcast theater.
Yeah.
Broadly speaking, and other BS. Friday night show was sold out. Saturday night, Wild Prairie Winery.
Yes.
Over near Brandon. And doors will open at 6. Show is at 7. They can go on eventbrite.com and get tickets, correct?
Yep. Yes, and it's so easy to get to. Put it in your MapQuest. I can get there in 19 minutes from my house. I live on the southeast side of Sioux Falls, so super easy to get to. Super easy.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Saturday night then.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank
see you. Then.
And we'll be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails. Call for an appointment. 605-334-1463.
From the Dipsy Doodle Studios at the world headquarters of Big D Entertainment, a 40-square-foot home studio in the middle of America, it's Dave Holly.
Thanks again for all you do as a listener. First of all, just for listening. Second of all, if you download, that's greatly appreciated. If you share it off of Facebook and say, hey, look at this. This is wonderful. Take a listen to it. And thank you for everything you do on social media, whether it's sharing or whether it's just liking the promo pictures that we put up, etc. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to today's wonderful guests, Ellyn Donahoe and Sue Martens. Also, coming up next week, we have Brittany Hansen and possibly extending the boundaries and geography of the greater Sioux Empire. It's in the works. It'll be fun. And I've been told, I'll let you know it's a female, I've been told you will fall in love with her. I'm going to take that word for word from the person that told me, too. All right. Thank you as well to the fine people at Wood Grain Brewery, Frontier Bank, and Agua Fresh, 9th and Phillips. That wonderful building has such a great lobby area. That's where we record. 95% of our conversations that we have here on the Dave Holly Hour are recorded down there. All right, so what's going on this weekend? Me and the missus, we are going out to Headlights Theater and Good Night Theater Company's collaborative effort Friday night. We don't know where that is yet. If you're familiar with Headlights Theater, it's an interesting way how they run it, and you should find out how they do. But we'll find out tomorrow night where we're going for that. Then Saturday, some double duty. We are going to Broadcast Theater's production of Broadly Speaking and Other BS. That's going to be out at Wild Prairie. After that, we're going to hightail it down to Rowena to go to the Red Rock and have some Crazy Frank karaoke time. Hopefully you have some time for the arts and entertainment this weekend. If you are stumped, well, I just told you about a couple of them, but there's plenty going on in so many different places. I think the Sioux Empire Fair is still going on. But if you're like me, you like a little bit smaller crowd. And that's why we choose to do what we choose to do and enjoy life in the meantime. My name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by the Sky Lounge and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Ale Hop Brewery Tours, and Jesse Moffett Entertainment. If you would like to contribute to the continued success of this podcast, go to DaveHollyHour.com. At the bottom of the front page is the additional links section. Click on the orange button, Dave Holly on Linktree. You can order merchandise, become a Dave Holly Hour VIP, and make contributions to the show. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.